All right, at this time, I'd like for the young people to come up front, if you would. Okay. You guys can stay here. You're close enough, I guess. But I am going to need to volunteer in a few minutes, so we'll see which one of you is adventurous enough to try that out when the time comes. All right. You ever been at home and the electric goes out? What's that like when the electric goes off? How do you feel? You don't really care? Okay. What do you do when the electric goes off? Nothing? That's a good answer, and it's pretty accurate, too. When the electric goes off, a lot of times, there's not a lot you can do. What if it's nighttime and the electric goes off? You can still do nothing, but is it scary? Look scary sometimes? No? Wow, you're pretty brave. See, when I was your age and the electric would go off, it was dark out, I'd get a little bit scared. You never get scared when the electric goes out? Well, you're pretty adventurous. You're pretty brave. I'm proud of you. I wasn't as brave as you are when I was your age. So one of the things that we do, I remember when the electric would go off and we'd say, okay, now what are we going to do? And we'd say, well, read a book. It's like, well, we can't. There's no light. And so Mom would get out the kerosene lamps. We'd like the thing. We'd say, well, we can't do a lot, but let's watch TV. Well, I can't watch TV. Well, let's listen to the radio. Can't listen to the radio. There's no electric. Well, the first things we would think of are stuff that, well, there's no electric. You can't do it. So we'd come up with stuff like read a book or play board games, stuff like that. And it ended up being some good quality family time because there wasn't all the electronics to distract us away from our family. And we had to spend more quality time together. Either that or just go to bed, go to sleep. So, why is it that sometimes we're afraid of the dark, though? You ever afraid of the dark, like when you go outside and you maybe around the barn at nighttime? Never? Any of you guys ever afraid of the dark? When it's you go outside or anything late at night? Well, we got a brave crowd here, so maybe you guys can't relate to this. But I think one of the reasons why some of us are afraid of the dark is because we're afraid of the unknown. A lot of times we think about stuff that we think might be outside, that might be around the corner, and we can't see it, so we're scared because we don't know what's there. I'm kind of like that. I'm afraid of the unknown. I don't like the unknown. I don't like things to change. I like things to stay the same so I know what to expect. So when big changes come in my life, it kind of bothers me a little bit. Sometimes I'm scared of changes. And the dark is the same way because we don't know what's out there in the dark. If we're walking around, we have to be careful when it's dark because we might trip over something and fall, right? You can't see what's there. But if we can see, then we're not as afraid. Okay, now I need a volunteer. Does anybody want to volunteer for me? Anybody at all? I promise you won't get hurt. Might be a little bit embarrassing, but shouldn't be. Anybody? Okay, how about Brian? You're probably one of the next youngest. Be volunteered. I guess technically it's not volunteering if I have to call it. Okay, so we're going to play a little game here. You guys ever heard of the blindfold game? Okay, well, you're going to learn something new today. Okay, here's one of my ties. I picked one of the darkest ones I had. If you would, go ahead and put this around your eyes and make it so that you can't see. The way I usually do it is you put the thickest part. I try to put the thickest part in the front, and then go around. There. Now, can you see anything?
No.
All right.
Finally.
All right. So now, Brian for all intents and purposes, is blind right now. It's like it's dark outside. It's like somebody took the candles and just blew them out. And it's all darkness. He can't see anything. So I'm going to help Brian walk around a little bit. Now, he's got to trust me. Do you trust me, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. The big question is, should he?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, now if he didn't trust me, then he'd probably be pretty scared, because where can I lead him? He might trip over something and fall, right? But if he trusts me, then he's not going to be worried, because he knows that I'm not going to put him in the wrong direction, right? Okay, so you guys think he really trusts me? You think he should?
Yes.
we got some emphatic yeses and some heads shaking no.
Okay.
So, all right. So we're going to walk forward a little bit, and I'll lead you like this a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, now stop. Okay, now take one step up with your right foot. Okay. Okay, now the left foot. Okay, now turn to your right. Okay, to your left just a hair. Okay, now walk straight ahead. Okay, stop. Turn to your right a hair. And now straight ahead. Okay, 2 more steps. Okay, now turn to your left. Okay, 2 steps forward. 3 steps backward. Okay, back a little further. Little further. You start to get worried?
Yeah.
Okay, another step back. Okay, now do a complete turn, 90 degrees. So you're facing the exact opposite direction. Okay, a little bit farther. Okay, now walk straight ahead, 2 steps. Okay, 1 more step with your right foot. Right foot, there you go. Okay, now 1 more step forward with your right foot. Now step down with your left. And down with your right. All right. There we go. Now you didn't die, right? You didn't even fall. All right. So was he right to trust me? Was I trustworthy? Okay. Was it a little bit scary?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Good job. Thank you very much.
He was
Just trying to get to the
Got
old
your glasses?
Yeah.
All right, so he trusted me. Now, I could have misled him, and I could have been untrustworthy. Now, I could have had good intentions, and I also could have told him to, like there, I told him to take a step forward, but he started taking a step forward with his left foot instead of his right before I said right. So that could have been a mistake too. So if he was too close to the edge with this foot, and I'd say step forward, and he stepped forward with that foot, he could trip, right? So even I could make mistakes, even though I wouldn't intentionally lead him in the wrong way. But guess who won't? Jesus. God. He never leads us in the wrong direction. So if he trusts me, you think he's going to trust Jesus? Yeah. Yeah, if he trusts me, who could make a mistake, why wouldn't he trust Jesus, who doesn't make mistakes, right? So that's something that we need to remember, is people can let us down, but God won't. And if we trust him, he will be our light when we can't see and show us the way. All right, thank you guys.